He's done that a million times where he starts and then he doesn't tell anyone, and we get about 15 minutes
just
in.
the intro.
Yeah,
I
and
gotta
then
get the good shit.
that's just the intro.
Just in case I'm catching
You just
body,
intersperse it between the songs.
I filed away for people I can blackmail with.
We're fair weather enemies, and here's a bunch of Hank Hill.
The Spark and Plug Talks. I'm Dylan. That's Aaron.
Do you guys want to do like a gang shout of a random word?
Yeah. Laminar flow.
Make America great
Laminar again.
There you go. You guys can do laminar flow as a combined unit. As you would to piss in a coolant tank if you were low on coolant.
Right. 1, 2, 3.
Laminar flow.
Great.
The name of the band is Fairweather Enemies, and we got Tommy and we got John, Michael, Jackson, and Jake and John.
Yeah, hey.
Thank you guys so much for coming out.
Yeah, thanks for having us.
Here. Tommy.
They just got done playing 3 awesome songs for us. And if you haven't already, go over to YouTube, look at the other Spark and Plug peeps that are there, subscribe, and do all that bullshit, or we'll come to your house and kill your family. So, anyways, we've got.
We have to get famous enough so we can start doing fucking like product things, so we can like cut the middle of the podcast and be like, "This is brought to you by League of Legends."
I would kill if some. It wouldn't even matter. It could be like On Cue or something. They'd be like the new On Cue 32-ounce drink. Buy now.
Buy it now or we'll kill your family.
The State Fair is brought to you by On Cue or whatever.
Sonic
like
Super Smasher
I'd buy
Burger.
one of those cheap little rotating things that like you plug in and it just rotates the
Lazy
drink.
Susan.
That would be so fucking
That would be
awesome.
sick. If we just got that and nothing else, I would be cool.
I don't know what they'd even give us in return. It could just be a bunch of Dr. Pepper or something. I'd be like, hell yeah.
One of those soda machines with all the flavors in it. Yes.
It just
And we
break
had
all the
that
fucking
would
time.
be sick, dude.
Yeah,
But
no, that
instead-
would be awesome.
Instead of doing that, we should fill it up with like the Clover Valley version of sodas.
Well, that'd just be...
Well, just to see if people can fucking.
Wait, sorry.
notice
Isn't
the
Clover
difference.
Valley like milk?
That's Dollar General brand.
Oh.
What were you thinking of? Is there a Clover? There's a Clover Valley milk, right?
Clover Dairy?
I think you're thinking
Clover
of like
something?
Valley milk.
I don't know.
I'm thinking Great Value. I don't know.
You mean Valamilk?
Yeah.
Those old school,
No.
little...
Let's talk about butter sausages. Where are they? Where they come from?
John knows.
Crank the hog.
Oh, boy.
That was a good.
Cut that, Aaron. Go ahead, cut.
that,
Yeah. Right out.
We'll be
told
back.
you.
That's the best part. Is having
I
somebody
shouldn't have
say
been on
some
the
shit and do silent.
So it's going to be Fairweather Enemies. Crank the hog. Done.
He gave it.
Lemon flow or whatever.
I gave you guys a warning.
He did give us a warning. He said I shouldn't have a mic.
That's fair.
Diligent viewers will recognize Tommy from being here a few weeks ago.
Thank you, Eric.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I was like, I'm not Eric. But he was saying, Eric's the only guy that'll listen to this. The guy that was just here helping with the camera. He's the only guy that'll listen to the actual podcast all the way through. Perfect. So, yeah, Eric, go look up the burn notice one, too, and you'll recognize Tommy.
Perfect.
Thank you guys so much for coming out here. How was the drive? Not too bad?
It was great.
Except for
We
the
missed the
fucking
exit, and then-
memorial race.
Mm-hmm. Then you got to go 9 miles the other way.
Tommy and I got stuck in the memorial race.
Oh, that too.
I hate that shit.
Did you finish?
No.
Oh,
No.
sorry, man.
No.
He's not known for finishing.
Yeah, well,
There
the
you
way
go. You
he
set him
sounded
up
so
for that one.
disappointed when he said no.
I
I was
know.
like, maybe that was his one chance. You hate the memorial race? That's what you said.
No, I said I just hate getting stuck.
Oh, good clarification.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's important.
So you
Now
guys
that we got-
play music?
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Allegedly.
We
You guys come here often?
They play music. I hit shit.
yeah, we play ska, punk, whatever. We don't really fit the genre well, but we get pigeonholed a lot into like, well, we don't have another ska band tonight, and it's like,
Where
okay.
are you guys musically? Like, where's your influences coming from?
oh God,
Everywhere.
Yeah?
everything.
What,
I mean,
what were you listening to when you were a wee toddler? Driving around with dad or something like that. What was your parents playing?
I mean, my parents, my dad played a lot of the Eagles. So Hotel California.
Fuck
he,
yeah.
He had a 72, it wasn't an El Camino, El Dorado. It was
Nice.
a 12-foot long boat of a car.
Yeah.
And he had the Greatest Hits 2, because no one ever has the original Eagles Greatest Hits. And then Hotel California. And then my mom listened to everything. She ran an aerobic studio my whole grow up. And so
Call on me.
Oh my God. It was like, you know,
Some Jane Fonda, whatever her name
I
was.
scare my wife all the time because we'll be walking through a random place and I know the words to like every song that was like the 80s through the 2000s. And so Paula Abdul, Debbie Gibson, Rick
Nice.
Astley, but then like
A lot of
Foreigner and
Do you call it? Is it Sade or is it Sade?
Sade.
Sade.
It's
Oh,
Sade. Yeah.
Ooh.
She listened
Let that roll
They
off
never
the tongue.
clarify it. It's just it's always just like Sade or Sade.
Seal. I mean, everything. So yeah.
How'd
I
you
gotta-
feel about that commercial where he's like, did you see that seal commercial where he's like an
Mountain Dew
actual
commercial?
seal?
No.
Yeah. Oh, well, don't watch it. I don't think you'd like it.
Too bad.
He doesn't own TV.
Ugh. Yeah, but yeah. So I mean, everything, and then I was really into the Beatles as a young kid, and then my dad worked with a guy who was in a. I lived in Florida at the time, and he worked with a guy who was in a ska band, and he played bagpipes and trumpet and sang in a Florida ska band called Pork Pie Tribe.
So he's the greatest ska bander of all time.
I mean, basically, because my
That's
dad.
an incredible sentence that just came out of your
I
mouth.
would say nobody else caught on to that.
That's
That
a
was like
fucking amazing
That shit did not
sentence.
let down. Word after word.
Wow.
I hung on every word.
But yeah, so he did my dad did the art for their album, and my dad brought me home a CD, and he was like, "Oh, these guys were on this CD. You know, you might like it." And I think I was 14 at the time, and
Yeah.
it was on Moonska Records. It was Closer Than You, Volume 1, and Less Than Jake are on there, Magadog, Skiff Dank, Ska Humbug, and it just like opened my mind. I was like,
Yeah.
"What is this?" And I just went headlong into it.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So. Yeah.
Did you start playing soon after that?
Yeah, I was playing guitar at the time,
Oh,
and
okay.
then I started playing in a '90s rock band for a little while in high school, and then realized I didn't want to play Sister Hazel for the rest of my life with a DS1 distortion pedal
With the DS.
through a PV Rage 158.
Whoa.
Yeah, it was-
fucking
You may have
rad,
just
man.
invented a
Legit.
genre.
Yeah, exactly.
You know how much that shit fetches for now, dude?
I heard that. What?
People love that.
I
those
don't-
shitty PV amps.
don't understand
Josh
it
Homme,
now.
dude. He did one fucking record with a Bandit, and people just lost their fucking mind on it.
But yeah, I mean, so I started playing, and then I moved to Oklahoma when I was about 16, and started a ska band with the rest of my friends called Special Disaster Team down in Norman, and we played for 5 good long years. Did some touring, played with a bunch of cool bands, and
Fucking 5-0.
yeah, we had played with them, and Ceiling Tiles and Third Grade Scuffle, bunch of old folks, and and then I moved to California for 12, 14 years. Moved to Colorado for a little while, and then came back. And Tommy and I, we knew each other since 2007, and we were in the same like punk ska crowd way back, and so we were like, we should finally just start a band together. And so we were gonna do some weird, like space ambient banjo mandolin stuff.
Whoa.
Because Tommy plays banjo as well, and I play mandolin as
Well,
well.
what
Did you,
with
did you
that
hit up
project?
Pork Pie Guy or whatever?
But yeah, and so we were gonna just do that and do like ambient, weird spaghetti western folk stuff, and so we hit up Facebook as like, hey, we need a maybe drummer, maybe, and then John
Jackson.
yeah.
Came to
Michael
the call.
Jackson responded, and then we all met, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I was in a ska band for like 4 years," and we were like, "Well, then what are we doing here? Like, let's just
No, I was like, hey, me and Jake are trying to start this like spaghetti western like banjo thing. Oh, by the way, Jake used to play in a ska band, and he's like, oh, well, I'll join if you play ska.
Oh, is that what?
That's
That's right, John. That's a gun to the head, baby. He's like, I know what I like.
I
all
would
right?
say, what were you playing for the banjo? Would you have like a little suitcase drum set with a little
Oh, no,
8-inch
I was-
splash? Like,
Oh, we never ended up doing it.
Yeah.
well, I'm saying that if you
man.
were gonna play, if you
That'd
were
be
Oh
kinda
gonna be
no,
the
I was
drummer
just
for
gonna
it.
play drums.
Radio.
was-
I was gonna be like,
meets
can we do
Ennio
some like
Morricone.
stomp and holler shit or something?
Stomp and holler shit.
Do you know that was recently?
shit,
Exactly.
Dude. God damn.
That was recently voted the worst music genre of all time.
Yeah, I fucking
And they
love
highlighted
it.
the first Lumineers album.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
Lumineers.
yeah, man.
Lumineers, dude.
We'll see how it holds up. I think everybody just is still left over. Everybody's still kind of pissed.
Well, yeah, because I mean, the mid '90s, probably there's a million polls coming out saying
There was
disco was the worst
yeah,
by
there was
far
some
of all
bad shit.
time.
Don't get me wrong, but Mumford and Sons has some good shit. There's some good good stuff.
Oh,
in
there's
there.
totally some good stuff there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's.
It wasn't as cringy at the time.
I've seen all those bands live somehow or another. The
Looking back at
Lumineers
it,
and Mumford and Sons and
Like Gentlemen of the Road tour.
Well, I saw Lumineers out at Bonnaroo and whatever year that was. I saw Mumford and Sons at some point. I think they played at Paycom Center at some point. My go figure. My mom was a huge fan.
When they went electric, it sounded cool.
And they were it was it was a band. I wasn't like this is changing my life. I was just like, yeah, those guys are playing. Hell yeah, good for
We got
them.
like conditioned to hate the stomp clap shit because they always played that shit in the restaurants where you paid like $18 for a fucking burger and it was stuck with a fancy toothpick.
Hey.
Yeah, and so you're just
All
like,
the
why
time.
the fuck am I paying this much money? This shit sucks. But you're hearing that the entire time, and so you're
It's
subconsciously
like when that one rapper
associating
got
that with
super
that.
famous off of just doing the song. It's like, I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 M's in my bank account. In my bank account.
Yeah, that was it.
And it was like, who's this
never
for,
heard
man? Who's this for? Stop it.
Sounds like Right Said
Get help.
Fred with "I'm Too Sexy."
Yeah.
It's like the
Yeah, but
resurgence.
that was like, there was
It
like
was a vibe.
Yeah,
Oh,
there was
yeah.
like a
Oh, hell yeah.
cliche,
Yeah.
terrible awesomeness to it. Not with these. Not with these. It's impossible. Well, what? Okay, so know where you're coming from. Kind of know your roots. What about
Yeah.
John 1 or John 2, or John 1 or John 2? I flipped it there. I said you could also be John 1. John.
Tall
you
John.
know-
Well, that's John. This is John Michael Jackson.
Oh, I'm
You
sorry,
have to
John
say
John
the
Michael
whole-
Yeah,
Jackson.
you just say like, this is John, and this is John.
John Hot
This is
Carl.
John and JM. This is John Hot Carl. This is JHK and JMJ.
Yeah.
I listened to mostly like KJ 103 when I was growing up.
You're so full of shit.
No, I'm not. And then
I was intending to say that because I thought that's what you were just gonna say.
No.
I didn't think you were gonna say when I was growing up. I thought it was like I
like-
listen to mainly KJ 103. I was like, come
But I
on,
listened to
man.
like pop radio for a long time, and then like in middle school, I started going to church quite a bit.
Do you
and-
collect like every single? No, that's what I call music up to
Yes.
like 24 or something like that.
Nah, not really.
Kids Bop.
But I got into the Christian ska scene.
We'll come back to that in a minute.
Okay,
Like 5 Iron Frenzy and like OC Supertones and like some of the swing bands that were kind of like cross genre, like the W's. And I kind of got lost down that rabbit hole. But then my bandmate friends at the time were like, no, you need to listen to Sum 41 and Blink 182. And then I got hooked on pop punk. And then in the early 2000s, I started listening to a fuck ton of like metalcore and emo.
yeah.
And like,
You're
so,
just
like-
the perfect little ball of angst.
and so I did that for a long time. I toured in a couple of pop punk and ska bands. I was in the big news for a while.
Badass.
And then when Tommy was looking for a drummer potentially, and I was like, okay, so what all you guys trying to do? And they were
No
like,
spaghetti western shit. Okay,
they
cool.
were like, yeah, like some space cowboy stuff. And I was like, okay, I could probably fuck around with that. What if we tried whatever? And then
Not
Tommy
bad.
was like, but Jake used to be in the ska band. I was like, okay, I will play drums for you guys if we do ska. And then I came along, and then we tried like hell to find a bass player in the horn section for the longest time. And we found like some really good guys, and then like our schedules were kind of a miss.
It's
Horn
hard as
players
fuck,
are
dude.
really busy.
Yeah,
like they're
dude,
just
yes.
and they actually get paid versus
Yeah.
ska bands.
What?
So
yeah,
they're like, hey,
Those
so
fuckers.
yeah.
so I know we have this show tonight, but I just got offered a show for $300. Are you guys going to pay me $300 tonight? No.
We're like, dude,
Okay,
we're
bye.
gonna make like $100
Okay.
in a case of beer. That's good.
Yeah, that's a good
Drink
night
tickets
too.
for you.
I was like, we need to find like someone who's like a
dentist.
42-year-old dentist
Yeah.
who used to play trombone.
That's perfect. Yeah,
know?
and they're not.
They
It's
can
hard.
bankroll the band.
You got to like pull those dudes out of their shell because they've not played, and it's
right.
like
I'm like, it's
it's
fine.
a project.
Hey,
No
hey,
one's-
hey, careful now. I was a trombone player for 18 years.
Well, what are you doing playing drums? You could be doing both.
I know. But we could do stomp and holler, and I don't have to have my hands for the
Stomp
drums.
and bone.
Stop trying to make stomp and holler
Stomp and
happen.
bone.
Stomp
Yeah,
and
dude,
bone.
you guys need to
Stomp
stomp and holler
bone.
ska. That'd be fucking
People will be like, what
tits.
kind of stuff do you play? Stomp and bone.
I'm a drum boner.
Sometimes we do drum and boner instead of drum and bass. Drum and boner.
You could do that.
Get drum boners all the
Probably
time.
do that. Hit a lot of low boners in there.
What was So, I mean, is that all you was KJ 103?
When I was much younger, yeah. And then when I got into college, before
Your mom wasn't just like blaring Perry Como or something like that?
no, I mean it'd be like Britney Spears and fucking Backstreet Boys and
There's some good
But yeah.
backing bands in that shit.
Yeah.
That's some great studio.
What's your parents listen to though?
my dad listened.
KJ 103?
Yeah, they mostly listen to like Garth Brooks and like Reba McEntire.
So it's in
Wow.
there.
Yeah.
It's in your subconscious,
Yeah.
swirling around.
It's in your subconscious to just be a pissed off motherfucker.
You got some
You just
rolling
got
thunder.
fed Britney
Well, my brother
Spears and
was
Garth
like-
Brooks your whole life.
My brother was like super into like grunge and shit, and he was really into Alice in Chains. I was like his favorite band, and my sister listened to a lot of like Green Day, and I think she might have got me into No Doubt, but she listened to a lot of alternative before she started getting really heavy into like top 40 country.
I fucking love No Doubt. No Doubt fucking rips.
I love Pearl Jam too. My dad
I love
fucking
Lamb.
played that shit all the time.
And
All
I,
the time.
I didn't really find classic rock until college. I started getting really
What a
obsessed with like
travesty.
like Queen and probably like I don't know. I can't think of any other bands off the top of my head.
Come
But
on, Ned.
Like Zeppelin and Queen were like probably my favorite
You
two
like Molly
bands.
Hatchet?
See, I can't relate.
You fuck with Taj Mahal, dude? How about Vanilla Fudge?
Maybe Vanilla Ice.
Oh, okay.
You know,
we
I
can
mean,
find some common ground there.
Yeah, I used to go to this like discount store called Farmore, and I would get those Rap Masters cassettes, and it was
yeah.
like they had like 40 volumes of Rap
Grandmaster
Masters.
Flash and shit.
Yeah, like
you were
way
like,
early stuff.
That's why I fucked your bitch, you fat motherfucker.
Where was there a
no,
Farmore?
but it was like more polite rap and R&B.
Yeah, that was the shit that was
It
like,
was
I
more
grew up in the
polite.
park.
Yeah, it wasn't NWA.
It was more
like
polite.
This was pre-gangster rap.
but it was. It was like PM Dawn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And,
And I heard that shit, dude.
It was
more
funny.
polite.
I'd
That's what
get
I
one
like.
every time I went. I'd be like, "Mom, can I get this?" She's like, "How much is it? $4?" You know, I don't know. It's weird.
Wow.
It's all in there,
Cool.
man.
What about John Hot Carl?
Man, I grew up in the Denver punk scene in the 90s, so I was
Give
playing.
me a vague tapestry of what the Denver punk scene was like because I'm unfamiliar. You have to educate me.
Trying to think of some bands to compare it to, but I mean,
You had like Reno Divorce.
who?
Reno Divorce.
Reno Divorce, yeah. I mean, the big band at the time was Pinhead Circus. I don't think that anyone would be familiar with that. But, I mean, I was a big NoFX fan.
Okay.
Love NoFX.
Propaganda, Fat Record stuff. I came
Okay,
up
very
on that.
cool.
And then I love classic rock, Pink Floyd, Beatles, Zeppelin.
Is that what
all
you were kind of listening to when you were younger?
Yeah.
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 Very cool.
I mean, I went through my phase. I don't want to carbon date myself, but, I did. The Vanilla Ice thing had lightning bolts on the side of my flat top. So
How many of you guys had frosted tips?
I
Be
had
honest.
frosted tips.
That's fucking rad.
Sorry.
Dude, if I was back
Nice.
then, I'd have frosted tips.
I
Props
had
to you,
MC
dude.
Hammer Pants.
Fuck yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'll show you a
Sweet. The
picture
parachute
later.
pants?
Yeah.
Fucking A.
Fuck
I
yeah.
ripped those
You'll
things
have
on
to
the
show
fence.
it. I'll take a picture of it with my phone, and then we'll put that on
Yeah,
social media.
my skinny ass punk rock days.
Fuck yeah, dude.
That's rad. You could probably bring that shit back, dude.
Yeah,
The butt
I'm
rock
not the
shit's
skinny
coming
part,
back,
but
you know. Yeah, I mean, but you can bring the frosted tips back.
Hell yeah. Have you ever gone to?
Kids.
You said you were a Pink Floyd, a Floyd head. Have you ever gone to the like those tribute shows that I see advertised all the time?
no, but we had Red Rocks in Colorado, and
Yeah.
they always every year they had some kind of
Crazy Pink Floyd.
laser show, and then they have 1964.
Did you ever go to one?
No, I never.
Oh,
went.
okay.
Yeah, they be like
I
fish.
see them all the time, and it's always like the Pink Floyd Spectacular, and they make it sound so cool, and I just can't help but think that it's not cool.
It's probably not.
How hard they want you to think it's cool. I'm like,
Yeah.
so this is definitely not going to be cool. But part of me wants to go to one. Just
The laser shows?
well, it's like
How many people go there? They're like, hey, where the fuck is Pink Floyd?
it's
at?
always something super.
The
it's
fuck is this?
It's always something super kind of like
The experience.
tacky. It'll be like with 15,000 lasers
Dude,
or
they should
something.
do like they should do like a 7 Married 3 laser show. Just like cumbersome the entire time.
I can't help but
fucking
think they're
rad.
just like a bunch of like mid fans who just want an excuse to overpay for alcohol. Like,
Sounds about right.
Yeah. I mean, you're actually probably way more right than I'd like to admit. Yeah, that's probably true.
I went to see Counting Crows, and the Goo Goo Dolls were opening for him down in Dallas one year, long time
cool.
ago. And
Pre-sex
like
maggots.
all these people were
Or
just
post-sex
like
maggots, I
Post-sex
guess.
maggots.
Yeah. Well, all these people were just in front of us, and we were like, "Oh, cool! What band are you here to see?" They were like, oh no, we're just here to have a good time. And they have like those huge margaritas that are like $30. And I was just like, bro, this is a hell of an expensive way to blow money
Come
you don't care
on
about.
now.
That's
Yeah.
the experience.
Wow.
It's weird.
Well,
They definitely had an emotional
Hurts my
during,
heart a
like
little.
fucking Name or
Fast
something.
forward to 2025.
You cannot feel emotions when Goo Goo Dolls play Name, dude.
True enough.
That's a good song.
true.
Those,
I mean-
those people were in their feelings. You just didn't see them.
Yeah.
and they were
Definitely.
opening up for Counting Crows.
Yeah.
Wow, that's a little.
Yeah, Counting
I
Crows
guess
are
either-
really good.
yeah.
I love a lot of their stuff. Like Heart Candy was an album that my wife, when we met, she introduced
I
me
love
to. 'cause
American Girls.
I had never really listened to that album.
who's the singer?
And I was like, oh shit, Adam Duritz.
Adam
Dude,
Duritz.
he's got a good body count. If you look back at his fucking previous relationships, you're like, damn, wow,
good for him. Like Jennifer
Aniston, dude.
It was like the Pete Davidson before Pete
Yes,
Davidson.
yes, it really was. Yeah.
Well, you know what's amazing is like he actually does like a lot of interesting stuff on the like other than Counting Crows. Like he was one of the songwriters for stuff on the Josie and the Pussycat soundtrack, which was
Yeah.
all pop punk as hell. Like if you've never listened to it, it is like one of the best pop punk albums from the time, like early 2000s.
And they somehow got their publicist or their publisher to land them on the Shrek 2 soundtrack.
Yeah.
Or, well, I guess that was the original
No,
Shrek
that was
soundtrack.
No, that was Smash Mouth, wasn't it?
Well, Accidentally in Love is somewhere in there.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, All Stars obviously on
Ugh.
Shrek. But
You know, it's so sad because their
I'm so
first-
shocked you guys didn't cover that. I mean, that's such a great.
Adam Durrett's hair is not even real. All that fucking that.
Yeah,
thing
the
on his
dreads
head,
are all fake.
Those are fake.
They always were. He wore a wig.
It always was.
Can you imagine like someone doing that now? The
Wait,
shit
this
that
is
they would
Ohio?
catch. Oh my god.
Yeah, it'd be fucking insane.
Woof. Yeah.
Anyways, what else? You were saying what else?
Oh,
He
I'm,
does?
I'm just saying, like, you know, he's done stuff like that. He's worked with the Wallflowers. You know,
He did
obviously
backing vocals on
Yeah.
7th Avenue Heartache.
their first single.
I love
yeah,
that song.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did harmonies on it.
It's wild, but yeah, he does a lot of stuff. It's surprising.
Wow. Yeah, the more you know.
Yeah. But Josie and the Pussycats, I have like so much lore around that because the main writer of the songs on there was Babyface.
Wow.
And I was like, that pop punk coming out of Babyface? What? It's a shocker.
Wow.
Yeah. Check it out.
Wow, the more you know.
You'll take it in with a whole new perspective.
We'll include it in the show notes. We
Right.
won't.
Yeah.
We won't.
No
We'll
YouTube
put a
links.
link on it.
link to
Right
the
up
bottom.
there.
How
Just put a pin in it.
right here.
Right
there. we
there.
go. What how long has Fairweather Enemies been a band, been an entity?
We were conceived in November.
Is this the beginning of a song?
No. It was like 2023 November.
November, yeah.
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 That's when the three of us got together and started fucking around. And then we played our first show in March of 2024.
Okay. Very cool.
And we've played like 21, 22 shows.
Something like that now.
Yeah.
Is there a venue you guys really like to play at?
There's several.
Yeah. There are several. I mean, like we love the vibes at Grand Royale.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
I
Grand
love
Roll, what do I use to Golden Corral?
Golden Corral.
Going up to it, I was like, we're playing the Grand Golden Corral, whatever the fuck it's called.
I mean, they each have like their
That
own
place
little
is cool. I like it.
like
Yeah.
highlights and charm. So like you got Resonant Head. I mean, that room is really nice.
Yeah.
And it's very pretty. And then Blue Note's fun because it's a lot of punk rock family.
Speakeasy.
Opolis is awesome. Speakeasy, yeah, Speakeasy's good.
Vanguard's fun.
Vanguard was
Vanguard,
great.
yeah.
We
Oh
opened
yeah, we played
for,
that in Tulsa.
Authority Zero for
Ah, cool.
that was fun.
Yeah, it was their like 30th anniversary tour.
Mm-hmm.
Are you guys based out of Oklahoma City or based out of Tulsa?
Oklahoma, City.
Okay.
They're both. You guys both live in Norman, right?
I do.
No, I live in Edmond, basically.
Oh yeah, and I live on the north side of Oklahoma City, and he lives basically
Midtown.
Midtown, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool. What about Hot Carl? When Hot Carl joined the group?
Just like 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Oh, really? Baby. Yeah. Okay.
we,
cool.
you know, it's funny because like we said, we had our bass player come aboard, our first bass player Caleb. And you know, it was great. And then his wife got a job offer, so they moved recently.
Oh, right on.
And then our main horn player Ryan, he also is moving to Chicago, and so we were
Played
just
full time. So.
yeah.
Oh, very cool.
So we were just kind of like, well, so we had
Not
you
punk
know,
rock.
we looked around.
Jazz
and
gets another one. Fuck.
we found this guy, Hot Carl.
Hell yeah, man.
Yeah, it's fun.
Were you looking for a band? Or did you just happen to be, or was it one of those like, you know,
was one
I
of
played
those-
bass back in the day?
I moved here a couple years ago. From Denver.
Oh, right on.
Yeah, my wife's
Yeah,
from
yeah.
Hera, and some reason
He needed friends.
She wanted to
Oh,
be back
Hera.
in Hera area. Luckily, we're not, but nothing against Hera.
Everything.
Yeah, everything against Harry. Yeah. Fuck those Panthers, dude.
I was playing in some random bands, and I saw these guys live, and I thought it was awesome because I was, you know, a fan of ska back in the day.
Yeah.
You know, Real Big Fish, Les and Jake, same bands that Jake was saying. But I'm like, man, that'd be cool to do if it ever opened. And all of a sudden, I saw a posting saying looking for a bass player. I'm like, well, crap, I'm a guitar player, but I'll come try.
Classic.
Yep.
Move the guitar guy
Lead
over to
bass.
bass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so so now I
Sweet.
play bass.
But he
Hell yeah,
plays
man.
bass very well.
Yeah. Yeah.
But
You
remember,
do. You
if
do,
you're gonna
for
fuck
sure.
somebody's ears, he's the drummer.
Ah, yes. Always. You need to get a delay on your baseboard, dude.
Yeah, I should
Get
get,
a-
a board.
Yeah, just start playing lead bass. Just take the top two
Fuzz.
strings off and just play the bottom two. And shit.
Gonna turn into
Aaron always has
presidency
such
You
great
only
advice.
need
Yeah.
one string for the bass.
Yeah,
Just
man,
crank up the mids all the way.
Yeah. Just bring a guitar and bring a fucking octave pedal or some shit.
I'm gonna start shortening my scale. Just
Yeah.
keep getting shorter and shorter until it's a guitar.
Yeah, there you go. They won't ever notice.
Genius.
Just
Yeah.
use an octave
Nobody
pedal.
ever pays attention to the bass player, so they won't even notice.
That's why I move around a lot.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, perfect. You just throw it on a backing track, dude, and you don't even need to play anymore.
No, I was a big Mike Dirnt fan. I mean, that guy
Ah,
from
dude.
Green Day
Yeah,
is
yeah.
just all over the place. and-
But if you like isolate his track, he still plays like everything on par. Like,
Oh, he's
but
amazing.
he's fucking moving around so much. I can't move around and play. I don't understand how
Oh,
these guys do that shit.
you
I'm like,
saw what
the
happens when I
fuck,
move
dude?
around and play or try and sing. It's like
Damn,
I
dude.
forgot where I was at.
Yeah,
Another
fuck.
take.
Yeah. It's not as it muscle memory
Yeah.
yet.
No, it's not yet. It's getting there.
Has Fairweather released any? Do you guys have stuff out? Yeah.
Yeah, we've got 3 singles on streaming services everywhere. Actually, all 3 songs, Spent, Chime on Empty, and we just put out Spider Eyes.
Oh, hell yeah.
And we've got the rest of the album coming soon. It's getting mixed and mastered right now.
Is
By
that
Eddie
the?
Casillas of the Voodoo Glow Skulls.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah.
The is that the release plan kind of like the singles and then the album is like the kind of
Yep.
final treat of everything?
Yep.
How big is the album? Is it?
It's 8 tracks.
Yeah. Okay. Cool.
So it's not quite an EP, not quite an LP.
We've been thinking about doing kind of like a EP thing. You know, maybe three, 4 songs, then just bundle them all together,
Seems to be
kind of
what's
an EP,
popular
and,
now.
and then we'll just kind of assess what we're actually doing after that.
Unfortunately, because we're both album guys. We
Yeah,
love
like albums.
Yeah,
me
Nobody
too.
does
Yeah,
anymore.
but-
The
we were
longer the
talking
song, the better, dude.
We were
Yeah.
talking about this yesterday, where it's just like, I love bands like Less Than Jake and other folks, and like they're moving where the markets are moving and stuff, but it's hard when I'm like, oh, I've waited 2 years, sweet, they're dropping a new album, and then it's 7 songs, and you're like, ooh,
Under 3.5 minutes.
Yeah,
Wait,
and
what?
they've already released like 5 of them as
Oh, yeah,
singles.
totally.
You know, it's kind of like, man,
yeah, it's kind of
They'll
like a
probably
bonus
some more
track.
meat.
one of the songs isn't even a new song. It's just like a live version of one of the already released singles. Yeah,
It's like going to a new Marvel movie.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, wow, what a great analogy. Yeah, it's a Madam Web, but
You're like, somehow this
horribly
is all new,
packaged.
but eerily the same.
Wait,
Yeah.
this was the cutscene from the last movie.
Yeah, exactly. No, it is kind of unfortunate how I guess I don't know society's attention span has shifted in that way. Mainstream has kind of shifted in that way, but there's definitely genres, niches, bands that lend itself to longer.
Yeah, I don't see how
format,
it can
album
affect the
formats.
the prog metal community too much. Like that is like kind of part of prog is you know,
Yeah,
kind
the
of
long, the-
theatrically, you know,
45 minutes to an hour.
song, yeah,
story
concept album
albums.
type
Yeah.
stuff.
My
you
favorite
know?
thing is when every song starts to connect into
Oh,
each
that's
other.
so sick. That is so. It's a
Yeah.
little bit more trickier than you think when you actually go into it with the intention of doing that for an album. Like you really have to put some thought
Yeah.
into it.
Oh,
and
yeah.
stuff is, you know, it's not just like, oh, we'll just end everything on E. or
Unless
some
you
shit,
accidentally
you
write
know?
everything in the same key.
I love when
Yeah.
they do that live too. There's like always these interludes in between songs.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It always sounds like you kind of find them by accident.
Yeah.
You know, when you're just fucking around, you're like, oh, we can.
Yeah, it makes you
melody
sound
this.
way more professional than you ever intended to be. Been there.
We've done a little bit of that. Funny enough, we have one song that we haven't recorded yet, and the chorus of it is the breakdown of one of the other songs that we have recorded. Because I didn't think we were actually going to play that song, so I just ripped it for one of the
Yeah, why not?
breakdowns because I was like, that works.
Yeah.
And it sounds good. And now it's kind of nice because it's kind of like, you know, call and response over the length of the set or whatever.
Is that when you're writing stuff? Is that primarily? Are you kind of you do most of the lyrics, or is it kind of just like whatever happens?
Yeah, I mean, currently, I had a lot of the content written actually already when we started as a band. I had been writing songs, you know, I kind of got back into songwriting really in like 2017.
Oh, right
and so I just kind of wrote and held them. I played with a couple friends in California, but we didn't really play any shows or anything. And then when I moved, I was kind of like, I still have like an album worth of material, and we just never got around to recording it proper or anything.
Yeah, there's something kind of soul sucking when you have like pretty close to fully fleshed out song and it's not recorded.
Yeah.
Like you're just
It's just sitting there.
yeah,
limbo.
and especially if you just like let it sit, even if you like record, like you know do some like demo recording or something of it or whatever,
Yeah.
even then, and it just sits for like 6 months, and you go back and try and play it, and you're like, there's something I'm missing.
Or
and
you go back and-
it's not the same.
Yeah, you go back and retrack it from the demo, and you get demo-itis, where you're like, the demo sounds better than the shit. And then it's just an endless loop.
Yeah, I mean, luckily,
music kind of fucking sucks sometimes.
Yeah, I mean, we've lucked out though. Like I will say, like one of the songs, it was the song I hated the most out of our set, and I wrote it back in 2017. I have a full like artificial drummer in GarageBand version of
Kyle.
it. And
Yeah, Kyle.
Yeah, totally, it
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
Yeah.
We all know Kyle.
SoCal Kyle. Yeah.
Kyle's our studio session drummer right now.
But it's funny because as we started playing it, I was like, God, I hate this song. Every set where it's like, I'm writing the set list, I'm like, oh, one needs to fall off. Oops. And now that we've actually recorded it and it's getting properly mixed and mastered, I'm like, oh my God, I kind of like this song now. And it's kind of coming full circle, which is, really like satisfying.
Yeah. Well, and especially once you actually get out of the mixing stage and it's like into someone else's hands, into the mastering, and then they send it back, and like it's why you pay for somebody who's good at mastering, and you're like, holy shit, I did this! Wow, that's the best feeling ever.
That has been the feeling with the tracks that we've gotten back, and it's like I said, it's just super rewarding because I don't personally like I don't mind DIY recording, but like mixing and mastering, like I don't know, I don't like to listen to it that much.
Yeah.
I don't want to make those decisions. I don't know what I'm doing.
Then you tend to overthink it a lot.
for sure.
That's the curse you guys are talking about, like the EP versus like the final version.
Yes.
And we've been talking about that off and on this week too. Like if you write something, just fucking put it out and move to the next song. Because you will just stew on that shit.
I've had to adopt the mentality of just fuck it, send it.
Yeah.
And like and you also with like our Animal Mother stuff, like we track all here obviously, and I do the mixing and mastering for it. Not necessarily by design, just because of fuck it. We're just kind of like, might as well do it. But like that's the name of the game, is taking breaks and using your band members' ears. Like send it out. I need you guys to listen to this shit, but don't listen to it for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And so like you have to find a really good balance, because if you don't, you'll like get
You'll
ear
shit
fatigue.
all over that thing, dude.
You'll start
You
getting
fucking
stop-
panning the
stop
snare
hearing
shots,
high-ends.
and
Yeah,
it's just like
shit.
completely unnecessary, just bullshit.
Listen to it in the car while you have to go through a drive-through or something,
Yeah.
so you have to like turn it down, not pay attention.
Exactly.
Because you'll
Yeah.
hear
I feel
other
like
things.
the only thing, like it's just like you passively listen to it, and then if something really irks you, that's when you take notes.
Exactly. Yep.
But if it's not like really fucking with you, you're like, okay, just be happy with.
Fine line. Wives are always brutally honest. You know, they're all
without even meaning to be.
It. Yeah, they're like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah.
Were you supposed to sound that shitty right there, or was it like,
Damn.
Why is
that
that so
doesn't-
jarring?
I thought I
Yeah.
was doing an artsy thing?
No, the favorite is it supposed to sound like that?
And then your soul just dies over. You're like,
I don't want. It's a fine line to walk, dude. It sucks, but like
is.
that's kind of like with this day and age of being in bands and home recordings, it's a lot more common. But a lot of people are kind of starting to realize like it is. You need other people involved in your music, or else you'll just get songs in purgatory.
Yeah,
I don't know
shit.
how solo artists do it. Like,
It's rough. I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of rough.
I think you have. I don't know. If I was ever gonna do it, I think I'd have to literally, basically do the entire song, every part I wanted, like have it all down where I could play it, and then I'd have to go in and just show, like, be like, nah, do it a little bit like this, and I don't know. I'd have to be a dictator. I don't think I could. If it was like putting my name on it just as me, and I don't know if I could just, I don't know, go in there and be like, put something cool here, Kyle 2.0 is what we're going for, you know?
SoCal.
Yeah.
Yeah, you really got to like. If you do it that way, if you're like a solo guy, you got to like just fork out money for really good studio musicians because those guys can just take off so much
You
weight.
usually have a co-writer or like a producer.
Yeah,
that
even that, a
goes on,
producer goes a long way.
Did you guys record this album by yourselves, or did you go to a studio?
we did it ourselves.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. Yeah. Mix it yourselves too, or send it off to some.
The first 2 songs we did a mix for the release.
Yeah.
And then for the rest of the songs, we just did a light production mix.
Oh, okay, cool.
And then sent it over to Eddie to like do the final mixing.
And he's mastering it too.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
and it will be on vinyl.
Oh,
That's always really
badass.
cool.
Yeah, that's
always,
really cool.
Who'd you guys find to do that?
TBD. Well, we have a couple places in mind. Like we wanted to get it pressed in the U.S. And then we want to like not lose our shirts on it.
Yeah.
So and then we've been thinking like, should we do black vinyl? Should we do a color? Because like there is, I feel like
Colors are pretty
a
damn
quality
cool.
difference
Yeah.
though.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Like
But
I
I'm
flaked
trying to
cinnamon
convince
shit.
them that nobody's actually going to listen to it, so it should just look cool.
Like the
gonna
type of
stay in the
vinyl where
wrapper.
they crush up a different color vinyl and then they put
Yeah,
they
the
flake
variants.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
there might be a quality difference maybe in that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I definitely have
Not
noticed
sure.
that, like, as I've collected vinyl over the years, that if I get like just a black vinyl, I find I have a lot fewer like blips and problems in the manufacturing than colors that I've vinyls that I've had that were colored vinyl, and I've read about that online too. I don't know if it's just BS, but
Well, I mean, could be something to it. Yeah.
I
don't
find
know.
some truth to it.
Yeah,
Very
I can see
cool.
that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
interesting.
We've talked about if we get to the point of putting out an album, how cool it'd be to like press like 20 LPs or something.
Yeah,
But
I
I
mean-
don't even know how much that's going to be. or-
20 is going to
I
be
mean,
expensive.
I
as
was
fuck.
gonna say
Because
like
they gotta
really
do
you
their
start at
minimums
100
and everything. Yeah.
Really,
you can
have
do
to.
20, but then they're like $25 or $30 a piece. And then if you get into like the $300 range, they're like closer to $12 each.
do they make
Yeah.
the sleeves too, or do they just do
Most
that?
of those companies.
Cool.
Yeah, they
they'll
do
either
everything.
Package. Sometimes they'll like wrap them, or you'll give you poly bags.
Well, if you guys find a good one, I think Tommy has our contact. Shoot him over.
Yeah,
for us,
yeah,
'cause
let
we'd
us
really
know.
like to know that.
What,
Yeah, we
who's
will.
your distributor for everything? Are you guys doing like?
online, like,
Are you doing like CD Baby or something, or DistroKid?
yeah.
DistroKid, yeah.
I had a friend that had an absolutely horrid experience with CD Baby.
Oh, really?
So he like put out a record. He's a local composer, Nick, and he put out a record. It was like an indie
Nick
band.
Poss?
No, I can't remember his last name, but it was like something Robot. Fuck, I can't remember.
Something Robot. His name had Robot in it.
Yeah, the band name.
Nick Robot?
No.
I was like,
His band.
holy
I'm
shit.
okay computer
I'm a
flashback.
great, friend because I forgot his fucking name. Anyhow, so
Nick Robot.
he puts out this record, puts out a single. He has CD Baby distribute it. Then he records a video for it, puts the video on YouTube himself, and they try to sue him and they rip the video down because CD Baby's like, you did not distribute that through us. We own the rights, not you.
Dang.
Well, that's pretty fucked.
Yeah, so I've heard like some people have horror stories with DistroKid, but I've been using DistroKid personally for like 12 years and never had a
pretty
fucking
cool.
problem.
Huh.
Yeah.
As us, we
Yeah,
never had any
we've
issue.
used it with some of our previous bands, and it's
They're
always
like-
been pretty
We
good.
uploaded that single like in 6 hours later. It was live because we wanted to do a
Oh,
shadow
nice.
drop.
Dude, we did one with our previous band, Moses and the Long-Legged Emus. We had
It was our Steely Dan-esque.
yeah, we never played live or anything. We just did like 2, 3 albums, something
Yeah,
like
we
that.
shit
where we
out
just,
3 albums.
That's
but,
amazing.
And,
I'm currently remixing and mastering them.
Yeah.
Because I listen back to them, I'm like, dude, I know what I'm doing. I know I'm going through the hole again.
Oh,
and shit,
man.
but I haven't listened to things in like
he just
3
gave advice
years.
against it, guys.
Hold
Don't
on,
listen
God
to
damn
him.
it, I haven't listened to it in 3 years.
You're
These
going
are
to
super
need
fresh
a
years.
lot of
That's a
whiskey and a
long-
lot
yeah.
of weed.
I know, yeah.
It's a long
I
enough
do,
game.
yeah.
He's working on it.
There's good songs in there. I'm like, dude, I got to do a better production on this.
No, when we did put those out, we had
We're learning still.
yeah. I mean, we don't know hardly what we're doing now, but we knew fucking dick all then. We knew nothing, but we used DistroKid for those albums, and like Aaron just quit fucking paying the monthly or
Yeah.
whatever for like
Sent me emails for 3
goddamn
years.
yeah, dude, 3 years, and they just left it up there on all the streams.
So my last band,
They finally took it down like this year.
Yeah, something like that.
I was going to say my last band's records were up for about 3.5 years, and then they
Yeah.
finally came down.
I'm sure maybe there's only like a team of like a dozen people over there,
Dude,
and
it's
they're just
'cause,
like, oh fuck, there's another one.
They're
Shit.
sorting by listens, and we have like 8 listens. So they're
It took like 3.5 years
we're
to get to
bottom
us.
of
no
the
red
barrel.
flag
Yeah,
coming
there's
up for
no
it.
red. They're like, they probably felt bad for canceling us. They're probably like, fuck, man, these guys suck.
Yeah, these guys made 8 cents in 4 years. What?
No, we did. We
We made
went.
$12.
Yeah, we went and got Chinese food with it. We
I
were
love
like,
that.
we were like,
It was
yeah.
worth it.
And
Every
of
time
course,
you get
I
the
had to
20
pay for
bucks.
Aaron's meal because $12 was all enough for me. But still, whatever.
Was it enough?
Not really.
was
Well,
almost.
it was like
Yeah,
a
it's buck
Chinese
a-
buffet
buck
or
a
something.
scoop.
You know,
That's
so.
like
Oh, yeah,
CD
that was
Baby.
definitely
Like
not
every
enough.
5 years, I'm like, look, just cut me a $25 check as soon as it hits, and it's like every 5 to 8 years, I suddenly in the mail.
Hey.
I'm like, oh wow,
Oh, shit.
By the time you retire, dude, you'd be able to buy like a new set of sneakers or something.
no, maybe from like Ross.
Oh yeah, there you go. Discounted sneakers.
Totally.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So what are the play? Okay, so you got the album coming out.
Yeah.
And obviously going to be playing more.
Yeah,
Yeah. Did you guys play Norman Music Fest?
yeah.
Oh hell yeah.
Yeah, we played Friday night at midnight at Bison Witches.
You guys got
Oh,
lucky.
nice.
Saturday was a fucking monsoon, dude.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
We got lucky last year too. We played Thursday, and then
Oh,
they
dude,
canceled
and
then
the
it
rest
got
of it.
canceled.
We
They
played-
played last year.
we
in-
played,
right in the
um,
Nader.
We played
F3.
Yeah, I guess we played like
It never touched ground.
because when did it get canceled? Like
It's like midday Friday, right?
It was mid Friday.
Mid-Friday.
so we played I think Saturday
at like 2 or
yeah,
something.
at like Red Brick at like 2, and like they'd already, it was super windy, so they had announced like we're shutting down all the outside stages, like so there was no music outside, and it was just inside, and it was like 2 p.m. or something, and we played for like 4 people or something like that, and it was it was fun as fuck, dude. Just because
We had a good
we
crowd.
got done,
It was
and
more than 4.
we got
Hey,
done, and
it
the
was
owner
probably
Mark, was
like
like,
14 people.
It's like a practice. And
Yeah, it was a
"You
big
guys just want to
rehearsal.
keep playing?" And we were like, "Okay,
Dude, I was
We
so
had like 2 more
disappointed.
songs. We don't know anymore.
There's this ska
Yeah,
band
totally.
from Mississippi called Flying Raccoon Suit that was supposed
yeah,
to
yeah,
play.
yeah,
And I was so pumped to see them, and then they had to cancel.
yeah, man, that was it. That was
Welcome
a
to
bummer.
Oklahoma. Here's a nader.
Yeah, like,
Dude, I remember leaving
go
that
back to where you
gig,
came from.
And
yeah, exactly.
I forgot I parked in a parking lot when I first got there, and then I moved closer to it once everybody started canceling shit. But I forgot that, and I remember I was on the phone with my wife, and I was walking back, and I had a fucking like panic attack. I was like, did my fucking car get towed? I was like,
Dude, where's my
why
car?
did they car? I was legit like, dude, where the fuck is my car? My wife was like, what's going on? I was like, I think they towed my fucking car. I was like, oh shit. And I look, and it was like right there. I was like, oh, never mind. We're good. But for like 45 seconds, I was like, oh fuck, dude, they towed my. I was like the one car they towed. It was like just
Yeah.
my car.
It's
I was
just
like,
yours.
fuck.
Has it always been in April? Like I didn't
Yeah.
live here when it started, so
Yeah.
I wasn't sure if it
yeah,
started.
it's always.
And there for a while, the arts festival in Oklahoma City was not at the same time.
Yeah.
And now they're doing it at the same
They
time.
like to edge it, dude. They
Man,
like to like fucking fuck with it or something. Like,
Man, it was like what 2 years ago? It was like Norman Music Fest, fucking Calf Fry up there in Stillwater,
Yeah.
and Festival of the Arts was all at the exact same weekend,
Yeah.
and I was just like, I don't know how much cannibalization's going on between Calf Fry and Norman Music Fest, of course,
Yeah.
but still, it's kind of like, hey, like
But the City Arts Festival probably has spillage.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Oh,
yeah.
It was just, I don't know. It's just like, does no one
No, they don't
look
give
at a
shit.
calendar
They're
or own a phone?
I feel like
or?
some directors like, no, we're the Superior Festival. Fuck those
Oh,
guys.
absolutely.
Those are the people that tried to lock
No,
me
I
in.
think everybody would like to potentially go to both. So why don't you guys fucking figure it
I
out?
bet like Norman probably has some kind of like window frame of like letting them do the festival. So, because they got to shut down the roads. And the same with the Arts District. I think they do it at Scissortail. They're on their schedule as well. So I think it's like the city schedule and maybe the venue schedule come to play as well.
I don't know, but they're big enough events that they can coordinate that
you would
shit,
think like
know?
Norman Music Fest would be able to dictate when they want to do it.
Yeah.
But
You
I
would
don't
think
know.
30 miles away from each other, they could sort
They
it.
could figure that
Honestly,
shit
I
out.
don't-
Yeah.
Why would you?
Well, you think
Nor-
that, but you're wrong.
Norman,
You're wrong.
Norman Moore area, which is like a fucking hellscape for naders. Why would you fuck with that in April? I've always wondered. I'm like,
Well, that's what I was.
bizarre.
That's
Well,
why
I
I was
think it's
asking.
'cause,
I was like,
a lot of the times May hits and it's just like 99, 110 fucking degrees.
True. Yeah, that's a good
But
point.
you got
yeah.
March and it could be fucking snowing.
Yeah, it's April.
I don't know.
Like, you just
Yeah,
gotta-
dude. We
the
ran into
sweet
that
spots.
problem. We try and have events down here in the Pecan Grove all the time, and we have, we had like Pig Fest a few years ago, and we've done like Punk on the Prairie, we've done Midsummer Mosh, and we're doing Pig Fest again this August 2nd, and we had it scheduled for last November, the very first weekend in November, because originally I did events kind of in the summertime, but like every weekend in the summertime, it doesn't matter when, it doesn't matter if it's in June, July, August, like vendors, people, whatever, they're going to complain because there's some other event going on.
Yeah.
And you do it, and if you wait later and it's October into August, there's football. Football's everywhere. Like no one's going to come to your
Or there's the
music
city
event.
festivals like Czech Fest and shit
Yeah,
like that.
and no one's going to come to your music event, whatever, over football,
Yeah.
over like whatever
State.
festival that they've been going to for 25 years. Like they're going to go for 3 hours and then go home. Like no one's going to skip. So I was like juggling, like, okay, shit, and plus we're out in the middle of nowhere, you know what I mean? So it's like people are going to come out and, hopefully they camp and they just have little shitty pop-up they can throw up and hang out for the night and whatever. But it's way nicer to camp when it's like a little cool outside as opposed to literally melting into a fucking puddle in like July. So we started to do like, okay, we'll do like, November, we'll do maybe the end of April, towards the middle of April, something like that. And of course, I'm like, okay, November 2nd, we'll like first Saturday in November, we'll have Pigfest again. It'll be fucking cool. October's the driest October we've ever had in the history of Oklahoma, and then it rained 10 inches the first Saturday of November. So I was like, okay, all right,
it's like
guys.
we didn't
And then it
cancel
was
for like drizzle. We canceled because there was a fucking literal monsoon.
yeah, I waited until a few days. It was like, yep, no, we got to cut the cord on this one because people will fucking drown.
Oklahoma's just like, you had plans? Fuck you.
Yeah, fuck you, bitch. And so, anyways, we were scheduled for August 2nd, hopefully. And I did that because I had a few vendors, like, we've got like this guys called The Shelf that show up and they sell a bunch of like snacks and stuff and some other vendors. And they were all like, funny enough, it tends to be that like the first weekend or two in August, I don't know if it's just like people winding down from the summer and, maybe school getting ready to start up, but there's not really a ton of stuff going on, like right there in the kind of the dog days. And
it's because kids start back at school.
and so, and so I was like, you know what? Fuck, we'll just do like August. I think it's actually August. Yeah, August 2nd or whatever. We'll do that and we'll see how that goes. So we'll go back to summer. So kind of flip flopping our events around, but whatever. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. Yeah,
Just find those giant swamp cooler fans.
Yeah,
dude.
seriously.
And I mean, would it be fucking awesome? Yes, logistically.
We'll just rent
No.
a big ass
Yeah, because I can't run a. I'm like, okay, we got to rent one. Fuck, we have no money. Okay, we got to find. We got one. fuck, how do we get water to it? I'm like, I can't just pump water from the pond onto everyone.
Oh,
You know,
yeah,
that's
we
kind of
could. Definitely could.
You're right.
Yeah, you can.
How are they going to know?
Yeah.
How are they going to know?
I mean,
They'd only know if they listen to the podcast.
What
I
they
guess
gonna
that's the
do?
plug.
Get mad
I guess
about
that's
it?
the plug.
Yeah. They're gonna be too hot to
As
carry.
the camera pans, there's like 3 people like pissing in the same pond.
It's you guys. It's the 4 of you guys do the laminar flow.
Laminar flow.
And it comes back full circle.
Our little coolant fillers.
Yeah, yeah.
Man,
there
this
they are.
water is salty.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So
Yeah.
refreshing.
It smells like popcorn.
And with that, where can everybody find you on the socials?
Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube, and
4chan.
we have a TikTok, but we never use it.
No subreddit yet?
No.
No. I mean, we post the Reddit, but we don't have a subreddit.
What's our OnlyFans page?
I think it's
Action Jackson.
Hot Carl and Action Jackson on the move.
Hot Carl. I'll just call him Handsome Carl.
That's what Carl works.
That's when you guys play the really formal events. That's
right.
Carl. Then.
Well, thank you guys so much again for coming out. Looking forward to the album. Looking forward to going back and listening to the singles that are already out. And if you haven't yet, go ahead and hop over to our socials where we have posted. I guess when this comes out, yeah, because these come out at the same time. And go over and watch their live performance, the 3 songs they played for us, or the 3 songs they have out now. And keep up with all the other bullshit we got going on. Check out our websites, bisontailstudios.net and pigfestok.com for more info on the random projects that we have going on. You know, me and Aaron be doing some bullshit. We'll have... Hopefully we'll be able to we'll get around to releasing everything on all the Spark and Plugs on all the socials, which will be badass. And as long as you agree to this very long and unreadable contract that gives us rights to everything.
Okay.
But other than that, tune in, tune out, and make sure you check out all the cool shit Fairweather Enemies got going on. Thanks again, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.